Okay, I know why y'all are here. You want to either see Ocean Breeze Luluca in action, or you want me to talk about the event. Well, you're going to get both. We're going to talk about what's going on in the Guild War first, and then we'll talk about some of the Ocean Breeze Luluca stuff as we get to it, and then we'll talk about the event towards the end. Now, in the meantime, let's talk about this Guild War. So, we start off with a oh-so-wonderful light team of Spirit Eye Celine, Savior Adin, and a Mercedes. So, with that being said, I see Mercedes, I immediately go to my Roana as it's my first and foremost plan. That way, if Magic for Friends ever happens, I really just have nothing to worry about. And then two, I have 2 light units going into my Dark Corvus. We already have Devil's Descent. So with that, let's go ahead and get rid of Savior Adin, because without any mitigation of any kind, and even if you dodge, you dead. So, with her down, honestly, I pretty much have this match in the palm of my hands, because the reason why isn't necessarily because Yulha is there. Yulha is there strictly to just take some of the damage via Aureus for the Dark Corvus, but the other important thing that Yulha does is she also provides Provoke. So I have 2 forms of Provoke that are going to be going into the Celine. Now, I'll point out a mistake whenever I get to it, and we'll get to it very quickly. But hey, looky there, we have Devil's Descent again. So next Dark Corvus turn, we can just immediately delete the Mercedes. Now, this is where the Roana action was coming in. That Magic for Friends with attack buff basically did nothing. Even my Yulha, who was taking the majority of that damage, also through Aureus, still, yeah, she's at pretty much the same HP that she started at. So here's mistake number 1. Now, the one thing I could have done is I could have gone in with just a regular attack. I just decided, for the sake of, whatever, I'll just throw it out there to use the S3. Didn't need to. In all honesty, I could have just used the S1, because if you have a Spirit Eye Celine locked down with Provoke or any form of CC, period, before she can get her S3 off again, and if you don't crit her, especially whenever she doesn't have the possession buff up, she's just doomed. There's no chance of survival. She can't do anything. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the next round, and here we get to see some Ocean Breeze Luluca shenanigans. So, you guys know me, I don't like speed, but luckily for us, Ocean Breeze Luluca happens to cut in front of the line very, very well, provides a cleanse and a defense buff with that S3, and Shazam! Honk honk! Get out of the way! So, this is where I kind of have like a little bit of a beef with Summer Breeze Luluca, because she is a unit that she works really, really well into a Conqueror Lilias Senya Choux comp, which is good, because that comp is kind of cancer. Nobody likes it. Everybody's upset with it. So what I decided to go with is I went with a backup healer in Maid Chloe, who also gives attack buff, and then I also decided to bring Lone Crescent Bellona. Now, with those 2 in particular, Lone Crescent Bellona can practically solo this team. The only reason why she can't is if she gets blinded by the Senya, or if she gets just hyper-focused from Conqueror Lilias going into her and like she drags in the Choux. So if you can reliably take out the Choux, which thankfully we did just enough damage that Luluca was able to kill with her next turn. So Choux's out. Now all we have left is Senya. So here we get a little bit lucky in that we didn't get blinded. Fortunately for us, that's still not the end of the world. Like, even if we were blinded, yes, we would take extra reflect damage, but I still don't think I'd die. Because, 1, we have Death Buff, and Death Buff is just fucking huge. Like, anytime you have Death Buff, never ever discount how useful it actually is. And with that, we're able to just delete the team. Hey, you don't get a raise yet. Not yet, Ocean Breeze. Not yet. But we'll see. So here, hey look, it's my favorite friend, Ran. This guy needs to be deleted from the game. Why? Yeah, that just hit my Violet. Yeah, that just stripped my Violet. Yeah, that just put defense break on my Violet. Now, thankfully, his booze there completely cleanses him. Now he's back to, stage 0. So here's where some good luck comes in. 1, we were able to hit the Briar Witch Iseria. So that means the Briar Witch doesn't have any effect res, or we just got, lucky that it hit. Because, like, if you get 15%ed right there, I could have very easily been hit with a Death Break and a unbuffable, all that other dog shit. But, so I decide to go into the Briar Witch, put her at 1 HP, proc the Immortality, and then because I have a really good feeling that she doesn't have Effect Res, I just go in with the Yulha, provoke her. Now the Briar Witch is done. So now because Violet had the lowest health, Rand goes into him, kills him, and now all we have left to deal with is BBK. BBK already blew her load, didn't even do anything, which, straight up, a lot of times I forget which characters even have non-counter-attackable skills. I completely forgot that BBK's S3, you can't counter-attack it. Oh, man. A lot of this stuff needs to be like put on a list somewhere, just so you can remember this shit. But either way, that goes that round. And hey, looky here, we get to play with some Celine magic. So this is Peira, Summertime Iseria, and Apocalypse Ravi. And Summertime Iseria is already out of the game. So, the thing that was really, really fun about this is anytime you're going into a Peira Summertime Iseria comp, the only thing that can really honestly go wrong is if the Summertime Iseria is perhaps rocking a Proof of Valor or is just obscenely thick and she survives the initial hit from your Celine. Because more than likely she's going to be the target, and that also depends on the EE that you use. So in a Guild War comp, I always use the EE that targets whoever has the highest attack, and then we're good to go. So now all that's left is Peira and Apocalypse Ravi. So Apocalypse Ravi is only going to go into Spirit Eye, Peira is only going to go into Spirit Eye, and we have Insurance with Destina. So the reason why Destina is there is just in case the Peira hits and lands a crit. Thankfully for me, no stuns happen with all the crits that she does. So we're 100% in the clear and ready to go. So now you just kind of let the game play itself. You can honestly hit auto right here because, one, you can't go into the Peira, and your only option is to hit Apocalypse Ravi. So yeah, you could honestly just hit auto right here, and then it'll just play itself out. Oh, hey, Peira, you wanted to die? There you go. I always oblige. And with that said, that's round 2 already. We going quick. So now on to the last match. So this one was very, very odd. So yeah, there's a Emilia, Lionheart, Cermia, and Apocalypse Ravi. So it doesn't matter whoever the Emilia would have boosted. I'm pretty sure that this Cermia was already dead, because this is a standard Lionheart Cermia. Those are not HP boots on her. And because of that, this deals 14k. So like right there's like almost 5, and then plus 10 from all the buffs that I just stole. That's the extra 10k. Bam, Lionheart Cermia is just out of the game. And because that Apocalypse Ravi did not have any effect resist at all, whenever I hit the Lionheart with the Rimuru, now the Apocalypse Ravi has Death Break. Now the Apocalypse Ravi is fucking dead. And now all we have left is Emilia. So with Emilia there, who does not have an excessive amount of effect resist, because that's only 100 effectiveness on my Ainos, she's dead. Now, on to the last match. So this is a Conqueror Lilias, a Troublemaker Crozet, and a Archdemon Shadow. So honestly, this is kind of a weird pick to me, because the only threat is Archdemon Shadow. So then this immediately tells me, okay, so I'll just bring Last Rider Krau. And with Last Rider Krau, I'm going to deal, like, death-penetrating full damage to the entire team. And with that being said, I'll just tell you right now, all the units go into LRK, he resets, and he just spams S3 the entire fight. Now, with that said, I just described the whole fight to you. So, you know what? Let's go on ahead and we'll talk about... Let's actually talk about Summer Breeze Luluca and the event. So, with that being said, Summer Breeze Luluca is actually, like, one hell of a pretty good turn 2 unit. Like, I actually like her quite a bit. And I'm not at all happy with the gear that I currently have on her. I think I need, like, maybe 300 to 400 more def. I think I'm fine on effect resist. Maybe a little bit more HP. And I'd be very, very happy with her. Now, with that being said, I do kind of not like that she's one of these healers that needs effectiveness and effect res, but at the same time, when the fuck are you ever going to use effectiveness on a Summer Breeze Luluca? You'd be going into, like, bruisers and tanks at that point. There's better options available. The whole point of Summer Breeze Luluca is basically, like, to do some, like, is basically to interrupt setup. So it's like, so a Conqueror Lilias comp where she does, like, all of her dumb vigor bullshit, and then you can kind of at least strip some of the barrier stuff and possibly hit him with a silence and possibly hit him with a blind, and it just helps immensely. It really, really fucks them up really, really bad, especially if you know they're not going to have a lot of effect resist. Now, with that being said, let's actually talk about the event. So, nobody is happy about it. Like, absolutely nobody's happy about it. And I can completely understand why. So, now, before anybody, like, immediately predicts what I'm going to say, is like, oh, yeah, SG, don't ever fucking do this ever again. I'm going to go in and I'm going to surprise you. One, the actual event itself is actually kind of a good idea. There's good ideas peppered in throughout the event. But the only, like, big issue was how it was implemented. So, the imprint thing, even the imprint thing, can be done right. It's just the way in which they did it. They made the boss way too fucking hard. To the point where today, I actually completed the level 5. The only reason I was able to was because I was able to summon another Ocean Breeze Luluca, so I have an imprint of A. And it's amazing how much of a difference from B to A it makes. Like, just going from B to A, it goes from damn near fucking impossible, can't even get past the first phase, to, oh wow, this is easy as shit. Like, and that's a problem. Because that's where it just becomes blatantly hardcore pay to win. But my other thing in particular about the event that I'm not happy with is just how wasted a lot of the characters feel for it. Because if you really think about it for the event, it's like, hey, sock it in Ocean Breeze Luluca because she'll make the event easier. Does she make it easier with her kit? Fuck no. The reason why she makes it easier is because the event is forcing you to use her for the sake of making it easier. Using her then nerfs them. So it's outside mechanics that have nothing to do with the actual character. And I think that's fucking garbage. Case in point, if you like the event, the boss is actually tailor-made to be fought by Roana because of all the counter shit. But then if you have imprints, then suddenly counter things don't really happen. And then suddenly, oh hey, cool, now the unit's good. The other thing in particular that I also am not happy with about the event at all is the fact that Ocean Breeze Luluca is the only one that's like advertised for the event. Meanwhile, we had Celine get a skin, a swimsuit by the by, and you can't even use her in the boss fight because the boss doesn't use any non-attack skills. Something I feel like they could have very, very easily fixed. Like, I mean, Archdemon's Shadow did this shit years ago. Even in the Tempest Trials does this shit, where like the 2 little gems that just use non-attack skills, you could have easily done that. And then suddenly, oh shit, Celine's good. Now, the one thing I would say that would probably make the event better if they had to force the imprint stuff on us is to just like do different stuff with it. Don't just like inflate stats. Change the kits. Do stuff like Auto Tower. But either way, I'm out of time. So, hey guys, if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to see more of my content, go ahead and hit subscribe. Grab yourself a drink. Have a good one. Later.